Hello, and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield, and I am joined right now by three of my dearest, wonderful, most wonderful friends. Number one, it's Michael Castillo from Reign of Troy.
Hello.
Happy that UCLA won.
Are you happy that UCLA won, Michael?
No.
Alicia, the Penguin of Troy from Reign of Troy Radio.
Hello, everybody.
I'm happy that UCLA won.
I thought so too.
Yeah, but UCLA didn't win.
I know, not this year. It sucks. And Kenny from Traveler Hates Thursday.
Hello.
Now defunct.
You have no audio of me saying that.
I
and
don't.
You never will.
We'll see. Be careful what you say this
we'll
show.
see. That's true. Yeah.
Can I jump in here? And I do
Please.
want to sing UCLA's praises.
Okay.
Damn it, you're going to cut that.
Another one.
Shoot.
I just already did. That's going to be a drop.
The thing I want to say that UCLA does the best
Yes.
is UCLA Health.
Okay. Yeah, we're pretty good.
Because of my my insurance, I had to go to UCLA Health, and I was worried. I was worried that they were going to screw my finger on backwards, or
Nice.
give me the wrong medication, or sell my liver like they did in 2004 or whatever that was. But it's pretty good.
Good,
I
I'm
just
glad.
I just applied at UCLA Health. So if anyone's listening and likes me,
That's
there.
awesome, Kenny.
Hey.
All right, yeah, hire this man. He needs. Let's go.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins, Kenny. All right. Hey, it's a What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you for your support. You can sign up on the Patreon, patreon.com/What's Bruin Show or what'sbruinshow.com.
Give these dudes your money.
That's right. Or on the Substack, which is what is that? what'sbruin.substack.com for just a couple bucks a month.
$2.
We got a new subscriber this last month. I appreciate it. I sent him a little text, but
Hey.
yeah, we have like
Wow.
4 now. It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
like this guy named Dez who says we're gonna go 10-2. This
Mm.
guy named Jack Roosevelt who's like Brian, who's the Brandon Huffman's like BFF.
Mm.
Although Huffman moved from Seattle to Arizona now, so maybe they're broken up. And then like the head of the Bruin Inland Empire Alumni Association, Nancy.
Oh, wow.
I love her to death, and that's it. So those are my
How
subscribers.
many listeners you got now? Like 6?
You know what? In the Brett Hundley, the salad days of Brett Hundley and Jim Mora,
Yeah.
we were like thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Now in the Big Ten, you know what it's like in the Big Ten with us now? Not so much. I don't know what that's about, but that's the play we're in. So
Those Brett Hundley years were rough for us as
Yeah.
USC.
those were
fans.
great years. Those were great years. Anyways, thank you for your support. Also, you can call the hotline 805-399-4WBS. Suck at Reign of Troy, who's here in studio, and Suck at Traveler Hates Thursday, who's right over there. And,
The soul
he's
survivor.
literally giving us the ring finger. Why are you giving us the ring finger?
Let's go.
The wrong one.
Let's go.
The rest of Traveler Hates Thursday, and this isn't a joke, are gone now.
They're
From
literally
LA.
gone.
They
yeah,
are gone from
they,
LA.
they've left.
Yeah.
Quitters.
I never thought they would be banned, but they were.
Quitters.
They cannot come back to the city. So,
Nope.
Yeah.
Wait, where are they?
One of them is in Amsterdam, and the other one just moved up
That's
to
insane.
the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
they both
God
bought
bless him
houses.
and her
They
lovely,
both
his
own
lovely wife.
houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which maybe speaks to.
Yeah.
what
Meanwhile,
the
we're
heck
here
are we
in LA.
doing here?
Yeah.
Well, Will was like, I got to go where, the weed is legal.
Yeah.
And other stuff. And I said, "What's other stuff?" And he didn't want to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like whenever it's so weird whenever we call him and do a voice call, like it's always like red tinted
Yeah.
lighting in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
And like, what's
That's weird.
what's that about? What's that about?
Maybe
Yeah.
he got it on TikTok Shop or
And
something.
then Saman and his lovely wife are up.
They just moved.
They just
They
drove
just
up
moved.
north.
Literally
God
Yeah.
bless them both.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. We just did an hour on the Reign of Troy Network. So if you want to hear an hour of talk about a little bit of UCLA, USC, but then mostly about kind of broad strokes, Big Ten, SEC, playoff type stuff, I thought it was a very good conversation. Michael, you did a very good job of organizing us on that, but it was great. It was an hour of that talk. Go to the Reign of Troy feed, and it's the only episode they're going to have that's audio only because I refuse to do video because I'm, I'm old school. I want to be able to just throw up their audio.
Okay, here's the thing about all 7 of you that listen to this. I want to give
There's
you a
not very many.
little inside scoop on what it's like here.
Yeah.
First of all, Jake, of
You're in the
course,
Westbrook
is a
studio.
nudist, which is, not very comfortable.
We're all doing the Jeffrey Toobin thing. Or the-
I'm
we are
literally
we-
like batting my nipple at Michael right now.
okay.
He asked for that.
He did.
Mm.
How's that make you feel, Michael?
Can you put that one Band-Aid on back again, please? He also has literally 2 pieces of paper on his desk. One of them has the links to all the stuff.
Yep.
that you talk about your Patreon link, and it looks like it.
I may have spilled the whiskey on it sometime.
Yeah, like it looks like
few
it was
times.
printed in like 1996, maybe. And then
Probably
there's
was.
a big there's a pronunciation guide version of your quarterback's name.
Of I'm a leaving.
Yeah. You know you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
My grandma when I was a kid, and I would go to her house, and she had literally a piece of paper that would say 2 CBS, 4 NBC,
I'm getting there, brother.
60 ESPN.
I'm really
Like,
getting there.
A thing I actually like that my parents have, because USC obviously famously don't have the names in the jerseys, is they print them out each season.
I
and have them
love
up,
that.
which I do like.
I
That.
dig
It's
that.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've gotten comments before like, could you refer to people by their numbers? And it would be so interesting if you like, yeah. So the thing about
Number 6.
Jaden Mayava, number 14, is that when he throws the ball to Mekhi Lemon, number 6, I don't know, it would be interesting.
That would require us to know all the jersey numbers. And at this stage in our lives, I know most of the jersey numbers, but also I know not several of them.
Yeah. I always
I think
love
With the
it's
when,
transfer
you'd
portal,
ask-
it's even harder.
Yeah.
I think it's fair if you ask for one or the other, but not both.
I always love when my dad like problematically objectifies the 2 people who have the same number, and then he's like, oh, the number blank, this one of the number blank, and he's just like describing whatever their physical
Tall?
features are.
The tall or
Yeah,
the
the
short
hoping
one.
tall.
Tall versus short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
difference that he's pointing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough. All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Listen to the show we did on Rainer Troy Radio's feed, because I thought it was a lot of fun. I want you guys in here now on my show just to kind of, I want to talk a little bit about SC football. We'll use this as our kind of season preview for that, because we did all the national stuff on Michael and Alicia's feed. But, looking at this season, going into it, UCLA had like the most anonymous season last year they could possibly have. Kenny kind of told me that right before we even started the show today. And by the end of the season, they were a team that, even though they struggled mightily on offense, 18 points a game was the worst offense of college football last year, pretty much, and of the last like 20 years or whatever. But they were a team that like played hard towards the end. And even though they didn't end up with the record they wanted, 5-7, whatever, UCLA fans were like, well, especially considering the circumstances that led to it, we were kind of squinting our eyes and going, okay, I guess it could be okay. And then they fired fucking Fredo Bieniemy, and they hired the guy from Indiana, which is awesome, and they got freaking Nico Iamaleava, and like it's like, okay, let's go now. Like, we're actually looking forward to the season, I think, even though there's a lot of unpredictable space in there. Meanwhile, SC goes in the Big Ten and has pretty much a very similar season to what UCLA had last year, only you won the Crosstown Showdown and you guys beat LSU or whatever. You go to your bowl game and you have a weird bowl game where you suck, and then win at the end.
The
Yeah.
SRS
Yeah.
Distribution Las Vegas Bowl.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Yes.
And so, like, if UCLA would have had the season SC had last year, we wouldn't have just been like, okay, I guess we can look for it. We would have been like, this is fucking awesome. Great. That didn't work for SC fans last year, considering you're still in the midst of your epic super coup of a coaching hire, Lincoln Riley the Great. And it's kind of panning out how the Chip Kelly era is kind of sort of panned out, at this point. But it's like, you weren't happy with last season
Mhm.
with your bowl
No.
victory and your 7-5 record, kicking up. It was 7-5 or 8-5.
7-6.
7-6.
7-6 record. So it's like, here's the question. Here's the question, and you guys can all answer. It's like, number one, where are you guys at? Rain of Troy and Traveler Hates Thursday. Where are you guys at with how SC season went last year?
Poorly. It started off incredibly good.
Optimistic.
That LSU win, I was there. I was at that game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of the best wins I've seen since 2010 as a USC fan. It felt like they figured out the defensive issues, because that was the big
Oh,
problem.
yeah,
for
by the way,
Lincoln
you
Riley.
stole our defensive
We stole-
coordinator
yeah.
and our
Mhm.
best young player.
Thank you.
And-
Kamar
and-
Ramsey. That Kamar
Kamar
Ramsey
Ramsey is
guy.
awesome, by
That
the
Danton
way.
Lynn fella.
Thanks.
Yeah,
And it
pretty
looked like
good.
it paid off immediately, and we thought Miller Moss is the guy.
Yeah.
He leads incredible drives in that game. There's that one-handed catch in that game too,
Yeah.
which is like one of the highlights of last season of college football in general.
Yeah.
Just an awesome moment. We were all riding high off that game, and then USC winds up squandering like every fourth quarter, basically.
Hey, SC led in the fourth quarter in the first 11 games. The only game they didn't lead in was against Notre Dame, who lost the national championship game. But SC was trying to tie with 4 minutes to go in that game.
then
And I
two
do
pick
want to bring
sixes.
that up because there's this idea. So if anyone doesn't know, for any reason, USC made a quarterback change last year after there were a lot of those last minute losses, and they went to Jaden Mayava, who
Jamie
is
Lee Maava.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's going to be the quarterback, the presumed starter going into this year. And all the talk is that he at least solved those fourth quarter woes. And I would just like to point out that Notre Dame game, what he did in that fourth quarter when we were down one score is throw 200-yard pick sixes.
Yeah. I mean,
I
this is
remember
the
that's
type-
like, 'cause I
Also-
remember Dante Moore.
Also, he did throw a really nice touchdown pass against UCLA at the end, but
Yeah,
the game-winning drive against UCLA was fueled by a trick play.
Yeah.
In which he didn't throw the ball.
he
Yep.
did, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well,
Smoke and mirrors a little bit.
this is the issue is that like I think that last season, the 2024 season, will be, in my view, heavily defined by the 2025 season because
Yeah.
I think there is a potential for a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think there is a lot of potential for any optimism that you might have come out of that season. USC finishes the season on a 3-1 of their last 4 games. New quarterback, the wins start coming in. They only lost is to a team that goes to the national title game.
They beat an SEC team.
Yeah, they beat an
Yeah.
SEC team. They
Who
beat their
was 2
rival.
games away from
Yeah,
the SEC championship.
yeah. So it's. I think there's a lot there. They almost, I mean, arguably should have beaten Penn State. They
Oh,
almost
that was the most frustrating game of last year.
they
to me.
they almost beat Michigan in the Big House. In fact, Michigan is like, and people roll their eyes at this, but like it's literally 3 plays on offense for Michigan. 3 plays on defense for USC, where one guy loses his gap and
Mhm.
Michigan breaks off long touchdown runs. 3 plays, switch one of those plays, and USC wins that game at the Big House.
Yeah, your losses are all close except for Notre Dame, and
yeah.
They should have beaten
S-
Minnesota. They should never have lost to Maryland, and I
Yeah.
will go to my grave saying
Go
that was the
Terps.
most egregious loss that USC's had in a long time. Then they should have beat Washington. So, like, I think from a USC perspective, you look at all of those losses last year and say, USC isn't that far away from winning
Yeah.
all of those games. And if 2025, if USC goes on to be strong and win a lot of games and prove that they learned from those losses, 2025 and 2024, we could look back as USC fans on them like 2022 and 2023, where the losses in in 2001, the losses in 2001 fueled what USC does in 2002. So there's that reality, but there's also another reality where maybe those teams were just living on a prayer and not very good and fall into the Nebraska trap of like, well, you think you're going to take that next step, but you never really are. And your problems are your problems, and your offensive line has gotten worse, and your defense isn't going to be is just stagnant, and your quarterback's not the guy, and you end up sort of in another situation where you're fighting for bowl eligibility. And then our perspective of 2024 changes completely. So, a lot of it comes down to what does USC do this year?
Yeah, well, you're halfway there and living on a prayer.
Yeah.
To the point where, yes, there's a world in which SC looks at it and says, hey, we played a bunch of close games that we probably should have won at least most of those close games. Of all the close games, if you can win 2/3 of them, will be even better. And then you pick the games where you controlled and turn those into blowouts, and you just nudge things one direction towards more successful, right? And suddenly you're a 9-3 team that is on the fringe of playoff eligibility, right? And you can feel super, super good about this. All the things that Lisa just said. The flip side of that is the idea that 2024 will be defined by 2025 is the same thing we said a season ago
Yes.
Yeah.
about 2023.
Yeah.
Because 2023, SC starts the year 6-0 with the Heisman winning
Paper
quarterback
Tigers.
in Caleb Williams, and then proceeds to go 1-5 in the last 6 games of the season. And in that 1-5, the one win was a game against Cal by 2 points.
Which
Go Bears.
I don't know if they really won that. If
Fi-
those refs take
51
another
40
look.
yeah, 51-49 that they probably should not have won. They should have won that game by 3 scores, but like they nearly blew it and had like almost sort of pulled it out of their ass at the end. And then you had an Oregon game where they played sort of tough, and a Washington game where they went toe to toe offensively but couldn't do anything defensively. And then a UCLA game in which they just didn't care about because
Brutal game.
their spirit had been broken before that, and then they completely
win.
no-showed.
Great
Like
game.
you have all those things, and you could look at it and say, okay, well then how are they going to be in 2024? And if they put things together, and the defense gets a little bit better,
Which it did.
yeah, they could be better. And I do
The
think
results were worse.
the results
because
were worse.
The
I think
question
the
was
team
always the
was
quarterback,
better.
though.
Well, I
I think the team was better
You
too.
put Caleb Williams on that team, and they win a hell of a lot of games.
I think they
I
win
think so.
almost all of those
I
close
think they
games.
win.
Yeah.
Like I think they go 11
So-
and 1.
Yeah.
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 So, how do you feel about this season? Because I look at your schedule and it's structured very similar to what UCLA's schedule was last year, in that UCLA had a 3-loss skid
Mhm.
auto scheduled
Yeah.
into the middle of their schedule
Yeah.
last year, and it turned out to be more like 4 or 5.
This,
But last year, UCLA goes on the road to LSU. Then they have like Penn State and Oregon. I think home to Oregon and then on the road to Penn State. It's
Mhm.
like there was no world in which they were going to win those games, and they
Yeah.
didn't win those games. And they also lost the Indiana game. They got smoked. USC this year, you're going to start 4-0 by all accounts.
If they don't, something is horribly wrong.
There's a
Something's
big
gone horribly
problem.
right. If you don't start
Yes.
4-0 because you got the Missouri State, the Georgia Southern, the Clay Helton
Clay
Bowl.
Helton, yeah.
I can't wait for that. And then you have the at Purdue, and then you host Sparty, and then
Now
Yeah.
at Purdue, I want to say big test, big problem for USC last
Still
year.
shouldn't lose to Purdue.
USC on the road.
there is no fucking world in which USC loses to Purdue,
You
right?
could- but
Oh,
we said that
we said
about
that about
Maryland.
I mean, we said that about Maryland.
But
Yeah.
Purdue's a whole level of magnitude lower than Maryland, aren't they?
But it's on the road, and like
USC on the road has been horrible.
until
I'm just
SC goes into a road
A true
venue
road game.
Look,
with
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley.
nothing would make me
we
happier
can't not
than SC losing to Purdue. But I'm
I'm not predicting it.
But
no,
for
but
the
it
sake
is,
of this
it is
argument,
on the table. You cannot
you
say
guys-
it's not on the table.
no, okay, fine, it's on the table, but it's not likely.
It-
Let's
Yeah,
say
They
it's
should,
not
win they should win those first 4.
Yes.
you
Yeah.
should win
It-
the first 4.
Yes.
And then you have this at Illinois, home to Michigan, at Notre Dame, part of your slate where it's like, that's a gauntlet.
Yes.
That's a legitimate
Yeah.
gauntlet. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you should be 4-0, and then you could be 4-3 after that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
God help you if you're not 4-0, because you could be
Yep.
on the bad side of 500
right.
after that slate
Yeah.
if it doesn't go right, right? So how do you feel about this part of the season? And then you close with hosting Iowa at Oregon and then the crosstown showdown. So it's like
Yeah.
there are some ways in which the schedule could break right for you
Oh.
if you manage that middle part okay,
Yeah,
but it could go fucking
It could
sideways
break
too.
really bad.
What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I look at the schedule. I think there's a lot of ways where this looks like a classic James Franklin 10-2 type
Mhm.
of schedule where
That's
on
the idea. If that happens, that's an amazing.
take it.
that's what you'd want, right? Like in the sense that I think SC will be, if not favored to win, favored to be within a field goal, or might be a field goal underdog, road underdog to Illinois type deal, with everybody except for Notre Dame and Oregon, and
Yep.
those are the 2 teams that are surely in a class above, and until SC proves otherwise,
They're on the road.
yeah, and they're on the road, like 2 places where SC hasn't won in over a decade, like hasn't
Right.
won there in Eugene or South Bend since 2011. So, same season. And so you look at it and you're like, well, they could go 10-2 and win the other games. But in order to do that, you still have to beat Michigan, a team that is really hard to gauge, because is Michigan going to be like the 7-5 difficult team to play but beatable Michigan that they were last year, or are they going to be closer to where they were the year
Playoff Michigan,
before?
yeah.
Do
And
they
like,
do they have a quarterback?
yeah, like is
They
Bryce
ended
Underwood?
they ended their season beating Ohio State and
Well,
Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I mean, Ohio State and
they're-
Alabama.
They're going to
Yeah.
be breaking in a true freshman quarterback and Bryce Underwood, who could be really damn good or could be a
Yeah.
big old freshman.
Yeah, and Illinois is like 11th in the preseason coaches poll.
The darling of
But-
NCAA football.
But
like
I
one
will
of them.
say
Yeah.
this:
Mm.
Illinois last year racked up win. And granted, USC didn't do this.
Yeah.
But Illinois racked up wins against lesser competition, and every legitimate team they played blew them out of the water.
I can
My,
honestly say
my
this.
Big Ten hot take is that Illinois will not that they're going to be a bad team, but they will not be ranked in the top 15 by the
By
end
the
of
time
the
we
UCLA does
play
not
season.
play Illinois, but I actually would love it if Illinois ended up with a worse record than SC this year, and I want you guys to be like 2-10.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
I have a big problem with Illinois, and I don't know why.
Illinois could end up being not remotely as good as people think they were because they benefited on a schedule that was favored to them, and they crossed their T's and dotted their I's last year. And so when you do that in the Big Ten, you can go 9-3, right?
I think my grousing with them is number one, Tom Fernelli. Although I like him,
Sure.
he's really annoying.
Yeah.
Number two, UCLA's played not one but two games
Yeah.
with a final score of 6-3 against Illinois.
How do you-
So I always hate
That's
Illinois.
and you famously don't like, you're more of a Prosecco than a champagne guy.
Certainly,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I don't like sparkling anything, but that's okay, except for water. Thank you, Mike. You were making a point.
Yeah. Okay. So I think there's a world in which Illinois is a 7-5 type team that will be tough to play.
Sure.
Yeah.
And well coached, but like that doesn't mean that they are a Big Ten contender. I think that's very reasonable, if not probable, right? At the same time, that does not mean that USC is any more likely to go into Urbana-Champaign and have any more of a chance against an Illinois team that is hard to play, especially at home, because what does SC do? They struggle against teams that are hard to play on the road. Like
And
Minnesota
also,
last year, Michigan last year.
like I categorize the my fears for the season in two ways. One, I think it's everyone's. Oregon and Notre Dame, they're in the top tier of college football. We unfortunately at this point are not at that tier.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't want USC to be at that tier, which is what some people think that means. I would love for USC to be at that tier. I need to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Below that, I would put Illinois, Michigan, Nebraska, and Iowa as 4 teams on that schedule. All of those teams could be really hard outs.
They could be
If not even
6-6
harder.
or 11-1, and you would believe either one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you were told at the end of the year that one of those was ranked number 7 in the playoff, like I'm not going to take that bet, but like I wouldn't not consider it. You know what I mean? Like
I could see any of those teams making the playoffs.
yeah. Like there's a world in which they do, right? There's a world.
Matt Rule.
Yeah,
in-
Matt Rule with year 3 with the second year quarterback through Dylan
Iowa
Raiola
getting
puts-
back to Iowa a
Raiola comes
little
around.
more. Like,
Yeah.
Iowa, whenever you don't think anything about Iowa,
Nope.
they go 10-2, right?
Yeah.
Michigan literally won the national championship 2 years ago, and Illinois is the darlings of the offseason, right? So, like, yes, there's a world in which the schedule, which looks at it right now, where there's just 2 obvious losses, and then there's 3 tough games, and everyone else, every SC should be heavily favored to win. While that exists, there's also a world in which this schedule is not like we think it is.
There are no easy wins on this schedule. There's a universe where there are no easy wins on this schedule.
Yes,
except
and
for Purdue and Northwestern.
I
But
look-
even
Northwestern
Okay,
is the-
okay.
yeah.
Northwestern, I'll give you that as like. But that's the thing is, I think you can make an argument that USC could face a schedule where the only easy Big Ten win is Northwestern,
and that's on a Friday.
Purdue should not
Yeah.
be, but the
Maryland does it,
September
yeah.
conference road game. I'm sorry,
Until we see-
I'm not
yeah.
going to make assumptions.
Yeah, and so my point here, and you know, Kenny brings it up about his fear of these teams being really good, is that like 2016 was a year in which we said that the season was built like a hamburger. SC was going to start the year against Alabama and Stanford, and it was going to be really, really tough. But then in the middle of the year,
reverse hamburger.
reverse
said
hamburger.
It was a Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, it was a Flying Dutch. Yeah, and then there was cheese in the middle, and the cheese in the middle was like Colorado or whatever. And then the meat at the end of the season was this crazy run where SC had to play against
and
Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and Notre Dame. And
That's not how it turned out at all.
That sounded like an absolute gauntlet, right? What happened?
Colorado was the best team.
Colorado
They
won
won
the
the Pac-12
Pac-12
South.
South in the middle of the October easy portion.
McIntyre.
And then
Notre Dame goes 4-8.
Notre Dame
was
Oregon
bad.
goes 4-8.
Oregon was bad.
Oregon, Notre Dame, and UCLA all go 4-8.
and
Yeah.
Washington was
And-
good.
and
but
Washington
like
was a
in
playoff
their,
team.
They were
Yeah.
a playoff team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but in that era of Washington, that was like they were a playoff team.
I
but,
mean,
like,
that was
they were
their
also
best team.
inherently beatable by teams that could match up
By
with
the
their
way,
talent.
the last great USC road win.
Yeah.
true
Yeah.
road win.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
true road.
Yeah.
Washington.
100%. And so like that was a season in which, we all love that SC 2016 team and they beat Penn State in the Rose Bowl, so I'm not taking anything away from them, but it's more so the idea that the schedule you think that you look at now doesn't have to be the schedule that it ends up being. Same thing for UCLA, right?
No
Like
doubt.
like you look at it and yeah, I think Penn State and you said Penn State and Ohio State are automatic losses, right? Like, yeah, I agree. I think that those probably are automatic losses, right? You play at Indiana. What if Indiana actually, does turn into the pumpkin that people
If the
thought they
Bruins
could
are
have
as good
been?
as they might be at the end of that part of the season, then they might be game for that game.
They might be
Right.
game for
I mean,
Indiana.
Maryland, Michigan State,
Yeah.
and Northwestern.
At the same,
You could end up with a good run there. Nebraska could fail to
Yeah.
do the Matt Rule bump.
I like the distribution of the schedule much more than I like it last year, and
Yeah.
I like it more than I like your schedule
okay,
this
so
year.
here's a
Yeah.
question.
That's my point.
What at UNLV week 2?
I wish I was going, but I'm not.
Danger zone?
Well, the Utah game is going to tell me a lot about this team.
Oh,
That's fair.
And
That's
about
fair.
Utah though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
is it
tell
like
me how
our,
they-
knows? Who knows?
is it
about
like our
Utah?
LSU game last
If
year? Where
they
that game
beat-
might mean nothing.
If they
Yeah.
beat Utah, which they're going to be underdogs, but if they beat Utah at the Rose Bowl, I won't be surprised by it,
Mhm.
and then I'll have infinite confidence in
I-
UNLV.
Can-
If they lose to Utah, then all of a sudden they're staring on the barrel of 0-2, and then like now you're going to beat New Mexico, but then you go to Northwestern on the road. Ugh.
I've never been more confident of anything in my life.
Then
Please clip this.
yes.
UCLA Utah ends up 16-14.
Oh God.
I don't know who wins, but it's 16-14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
16-14. Yeah.
You think so?
That's a late game, right? That's
Utah-
like an 8 p.m.
Utah-
God, don't
like-
get me started on the fucking times, Kenny.
I love Kyle Whittingham.
Dude, the Bruins
But
are going 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Utah
I
on
think,
the
their
road
first three
is,
games.
is difficult.
But
I mean,
this
it's
is
difficult
Utah
for
at the
them.
Rose Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, Utah on the road is not Utah playing on their
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
road
yeah.
for
Very
them.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very different for them.
Well, and in the last 10 years, Utah has beat UCLA at the Rose Bowl by 50, and they've also lost numerous games. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a freaking crapshoot.
But I bring up the UNLV game because that is that the first marquee home game for Dan Mullen at
I
UNLV?
think it is. Yeah, it has to be, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
and like that game to me feels like it's not remotely the same, but like I'm just it feels like Washington hosting SC in 2009 where they just hired Sark.
yeah, it's
We're
like a
like-
little ambush in the desert, is what you're saying.
Well, we're mostly like you've got a new coach, you've got an early season game. Like if you win this
Also-
game, people might start thinking things or whatever, which would be such an overreaction to it or whatever. But
But
like
for UNLV, that is we have a shot at a playoff. Like
Yeah.
that's a necessary win to
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
and I'm just telling you this. If the Bruins beat Utah, I'm not worried about UNLV. If the Bruins
Oh,
lose to Utah, I'm terrified about UNLV.
I think reverse.
But the
I think
Bruins-
it's reverse.
though.
I don't
It's the
think so, though.
inverse.
I don't
That-
think so at all.
What, speaking of those week 2 games,
You
though,
were looking at college football way too logically, sir.
how,
I know. I know.
how are we feeling about that Clay Helton game? Well, I've talked about this for a long time. If that game is close at halftime or later, it's going to be hell.
I-
Can,
I'm
you,
just-
can you want to know what my deep dark fear about the start of USC season is?
Losing that game.
And
You
by the way,
know, you-
let's reset this. By the way, USC plays their first game against a not FCS
No,
opponent.
No,
They
they're
are
not
FBS.
FCS.
Not.
They're not.
Do
They're
you know-
Not. I said it. Not
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you know
Not
much about
FCS
Missouri
opponent.
State?
because they're playing their first game as FBS.
Yeah.
and that is the Montana
Missouri
Missouri
State,
State.
Missouri
Yeah.
State Bears.
Missouri
Yeah.
Bears. And then
They're
Not bad.
really they were a solid FCS team.
But
get out of
USC
here.
should win that game by
I'm
a
so
They
safety.
should.
upset
Yeah.
about
They're
UCLA.
solid, but they're not North Dakota State.
No,
I'm
no, no,
so
no.
upset about about UCLA breaking that streak before
Yeah.
SC, and you guys kind of just like lucking into it pisses me off.
Well,
but
USC
you
was
still get
going to
credit.
break it,
But
you
and
still
then
get
reversed
credit.
it.
You
Yeah.
still get credit.
If you're gonna play FCS schools, doing it the way UCLA did it, I think is the coolest way.
I agree with that, and that's
Yeah.
why I don't really, real super bad about it because they
Yeah.
played a historically black college and made a big deal out of it, and we had the
Yeah.
bands out here.
Like,
That was
that's
cool,
neat. Yeah.
but I was still pissed when they broke the streak, and then. But the fact that SC is kind of like just keeping it going,
It's a
Pisses me
fun
off a
way to
little
keep it
bit.
going.
but so you
No,
play them in the
we're-
first game, and then the second game you have the
It's-
Clay Helton Bowl.
Clay Helton comes back.
My assumption right now is that USC will win that game, but they will not win that game by more than 14 points.
and
Yeah,
that
and that
Oh,
will
see,
feel really bad.
I
will
don't-
be awesome.
I don't know about that part. I'm just telling you right now that game will be
It's gonna be
It-
the most
it-
painful.
It will be
stupid-
one of those things where in the
It's tied
second
at
quarter,
halftime.
everybody
Yeah.
sees the score and goes,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can like feel it, right?
Yeah, it'll be one of those.
Already.
I
Like,
think I think it's entirely possible. It's one of those games where USC is up by 11, and they remain up by 11 for most of the game, but never
And just never-
more than 11. Like
No, I think the most likely scenario is SC is down 14-10 in the second quarter,
God.
mm,
Oh, God.
and
Oh,
then
my.
wins
please no.
Oh,
41-17.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I
Hey,
mean?
hold
Like
on,
that
hold
kind
on,
of
hold on. In the last podcast, when we did it on the Rain Troy Radio, I was like trying to keep us into like the world of reality because we were talking about the playoff system and all that stuff, and you guys are talking about relegation, all that. And I'm like, that's never going to happen. So why are we even talking about it? But I do want to take 2 minutes here on the What's Bruin show to talk about a world in which it's not going to happen. But I want to talk about a world in which UCLA loses to Georgia Southern, and you guys have to
USC does.
USC loses that game.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, Clay Helton has beat Lincoln Riley in a game. What is the reaction of the SC crowd?
I've long said this. I think they fire him. I know there's the buyout. I think he gets fired if you lose that game.
I have simultaneously
Yes.
never wanted to podcast less and more in the same at
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
time.
Oh, your
than that
viewership,
CarCast.
your
Yeah.
viewership on the CarCast would
Holy
go
shit!
nuts.
Like,
Hey, can I get and can I have an ask?
Yeah.
If for some reason that game goes sideways and you lost that game, I don't even need to talk. But can I just like be on the air with you, like in the room, and just like soak it all in? Like, could I do that?
Watch
Would you-
live on YouTube.
Would you? No. I want to be. No, I want to be on the broadcast. I want like somebody to say like, "We're here, Range Radio, yada 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 yada," and we have Jake here too. But I don't even have to say anything. I'll just say hi. I'll do an Alicia, hi, and then I'll just roll
You're
with that.
gonna
Jake,
be
you have
like
permission-
the principal
I
in
just
the
wanna
back
be
of the
there
third
just in
grade
case.
class,
Jake,
just sitting there.
you have permission to drive straight over to our
I
apartment.
absolutely fucking will.
and
if that
do-
fourth quarter's close, he's gonna.
I'm on the way.
by all means.
I'm on the way. Okay,
Our
thank
games
you.
are at the same
Um,
time.
Yeah,
oh, are they?
watch-
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't care.
Wait,
I
no,
will skip
I
my
think-
fucking
yeah.
post game just to be part of yours. That's all I'm saying.
Do you
Kenny,
think-
I don't think they tarmac him. But I think that is the point of no return.
Yeah.
Short
Well, it's a
of
home game, so you can't
short
get
of
tarmac.
Lincoln Riley winning a national title the following
They're just
year,
gonna drive him
like,
to Burbank
if you
just to
lose
fire him.
Georgia Southern, you're pretty much done. The
You
fan
can't
base,
not be right.
the
You
fan
have
base
to
will
be
have
done.
totally checked out. And
People
this
won't go to
And
games.
this is the one thing that I do think there might be a situation where Jen Cohen might be forced to make that change, because who is writing a check
Yeah.
to that coach, to that program? Who is cutting a check to Lincoln Riley?
Can I?
I think he would get the Helton thing.
Can I throw you a what if
Yes.
scenario?
I
Please
swear
do.
to God.
This is
Oh, no.
This is
I love doomcasting with
This is-
Range
this is
Radio.
nuts.
This is my favorite pastime.
strap in. SC wins the opening game
Comfortable,
against not FCS team
Not FCS.
Missouri State's 42-7.
Right
They
on.
lose to Georgia Southern on a last minute field goal, 27-24.
USC, do not. No. Bad USC. No.
Yes. Then they scrape by against Purdue, win on the road, 24-21.
This guy's
They-
going to say they're going to go to the
I
playoffs.
am,
They
I am
come- they-
having a
they come
miserable
back.
This is
September,
awful
guys.
already.
They
Yeah.
come back against Michigan State and they win 31-17.
Oh.
They go on the road against Illinois and no one is feeling confident, but they win that game 13-10 in a hard
Say
like,
6-3 for me.
You're
win it
6-3 in the classic Big Ten measuring contest of some sort, and then there's a bye week, and SC people don't know what to think. Then they go into
Oh, I know
Michigan,
what they think.
still down, and SC beats Michigan
Let's see. Here we
30
go, Michael.
35-13.
Screw you.
This is insane.
And people are like, "Yeah, but this still isn't real, right? Like it's not real."
You're
It-
saying
it-
it's Notre Dame
It,
season
it
last
can't
year.
be real until they go to Notre Dame. And then they go to Notre Dame. And oh my God, with SC is down 10 points in the fourth quarter, but Jaden, holy crap. He just put on an SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl patch on his jersey, and here he goes, and he can't throw an incomplete pass in the fourth quarter. NSC wins on a slant to Makai Lemon.
Sounds rumpy pumpy.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden SC is
ranked 10 or,
6-1, and then they go on and they hold serve. They beat Nebraska by 10 on the road. They solidly beat Iowa and
You're
and
literally talking about Notre
Northwestern.
Dame season last year.
Well, I'm still going.
I swear to God.
They go and they play against Oregon, and it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But Dan Lanning does some weird bullshit where he figures out that you can actually call a false start, and it improves your chance of winning for something. And then they pull out a win, and SC loses 33-31.
I don't like this fantasy.
In Eugene, and suddenly SC's a 2-loss team going into city championship game against UCLA, but they come back in and they blow out.
Okay, that's good.
They blow out 8-4 UCLA.
I'm happy that UCLA won.
Yeah, they blow them out 42 to 12.
Okay, all right, I like that.
And
Yeah.
they're 10-2, and they're going to
They're
the
in
playoff.
Yeah. Well, no, first they're going to the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, they're going to the Big
I
Ten
don't
championship
like
game.
this. I don't like
They
this
go,
scenario.
they go to the Big Ten championship game. They
Against Ohio
Yeah, they
State
don't
or
get
Penn
their
State?
intestines rearranged by Penn State, but Penn State plays them. Doesn't pull away, and then
Then USC has the home game against.
Are you
ASU
done yet?
in the playoff?
I guess what I'm saying is, what would SC have to do to
I,
make up
I,
for
Make the
losing to
playoff.
Georgia?
I
They
would
would
like
have to
to
go-
point out to the listeners of the What's Bruin show,
Yes.
if you haven't already gone over and listened to the Reno Troy half of this episode,
Yes.
I've had
You
no
will know-
alcohol.
you will know that we had a
He has not.
conversation about how keeping the regular season intact, and it should matter that Michigan beat Ohio State.
I mean,
And now-
it's true.
It
yeah.
would freaking matter that USC lost to
To Clay
Georgia
Helton.
Southern.
But hold on,
It's specifically because it's Clay
Hold
Helton.
on, wait a minute.
Wait,
They
but
go to the
does
playoff
that-
against 13-0 Georgia Southern.
That would be.
No,
that
no,
would be
Uh,
good.
Does losing to
All of a sudden, I love
Clay
this
Helton,
idea.
Does losing to Clay Helton's Georgia Southern break the curse? Is that the thing that needs to?
No, it doesn't need
Gonna
to happen. It does not.
Okay,
need
so
to
hold on. Story time. Michael and I are big fans of Rob Has a Podcast because we like reality TV show like Big Brother and
Big
Survivor.
ups to Rob.
And in the Big Brother fan base last week, there was worry that something bad was going to happen in the house, and so a portion of the fan base went, and apparently on Etsy you can hire a Wiccan witch to
That's
do a spell and call upon a demon to do something that you want for them. So they hired an Etsy witch to bring this demon into the house to stop this one person from winning and winning power or whatever. And on Thursday that person won the head of household, but then they were usurped by a special power from somebody else, and everyone was like, that's the Etsy witch. The Etsy witch magic happened. But then the devil's bargain of this was that the person who everyone loved who took power turned out to have a terrible time and was at one of the worst weeks of ever.
Wow. I once took a report that led to the arrest of a lady that put a Santeria / voodoo curse on the household
Overrated song, by
of
the
the
way.
neighbor of a very popular hotel chain, where the slogan of one of the heirs of said nation might have said that's hot, but like sacrificing chickens and
The
lighting
channel
candles
film that
outside
I've
of
definitely
the.
not seen.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm
That is
sorry.
crazy.
Well, no, what I'm just saying is I wonder what kind of Etsy witch would we have to hire in order
To get out of the post Pete Carroll.
to get out of the
7 and
post pig.
5.
Yeah. Do we need to offer Georgia Southern as our sacrifice?
It's going to be something that happens between us and Nebraska. Because
Okay,
the
okay.
two,
They are both the
the
same
two
space.
seem.
Jake, here you go.
Yeah.
For all 9 of your listeners now.
F you.
And my dad might listen to this, so it might get you to 10.
Hey, pops.
Okay, let's talk this through. your Bruins.
Yeah, go Bruins. Fours up.
By the way, I know you got coffee. Take another sip of that. Yeah, there you go. Somebody will be drinking coffee, and then it'll be like weird for them. They'll be like, "Oh, this is so meta," you know.
I was looking around like, wait, there's coffee?
Sorry. What if you have a season where you go 10-1? You lose to Penn State. Sorry, you lose at Ohio State. You're 10-1 going into the SC game.
Yes.
And you get absolutely jiggle bagged by SC.
I think they're still in the playoffs.
Like this is
Take that, UCLA football cynics.
I don't really care.
this is 2005. SC,
Give me the
I mean,
jiggle
you-
bagging
to-
and the
to-
playoff.
to- to-
Give me the jiggle bagging and the playoff.
This is
I'll take
2005 UCLA at Arizona,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
I drove to the desert
You-
for that game.
You take the playoff.
Drove back with my.
Would
Are you kidding me?
What if you reversed it,
Wait,
Michael?
wait. What did USC do in that same season? Are they in the playoff?
2005.
No.
in this
Your
hypothetical.
scenario.
USC's not that good.
USC's not in the
USC's like-
playoff, are they? UCLA's in the
in-
playoff, but SC's not.
Oh.
Even though they jiggle bagged us,
Yeah.
then fuck off. We made the playoff first. Fuck you guys. Middle fingers everywhere, all around.
And I mean, I
Let's
guess
do
this
it.
is proof
This is
of
the Michigan Ohio
It is.
State.
this
It
is
is.
proof
Fuck
of
off.
Michael's
Michigan's
like
okay,
rivalry
we won the
losses
national
should matter.
championship.
Like if you gave me USC in the playoff but a loss to UCLA right now, I'd take it.
I'd take it
Absolutely.
Of course I would take
There's
it.
times
no
in a
debate.
hundred.
And
Give
that
me
speaks
that.
to the change of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But of course
Let's
I would
go.
take it.
Yeah.
Let's go right now. I'll take
Would
it.
you take it if then your playoff? Well, it's tough for us because we've had such. It's not even a playoff drought. Neither of us have ever made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's different if like you're Clemson or someone, and then
Yeah.
let's say you lose to South Carolina, and then you get blown out in your first playoff game.
Yeah.
Like, you
Oh,
still take that deal if you're them.
Give me a couple playoffs, and then I'm probably like,
Then
no,
it
we'll
changes.
beat SC.
Yeah.
But until
But,
one of us makes
We've
the
never
playoff
made
first,
the playoff. Yeah.
F you all, I'll take the
Wait,
playoff.
Hold on. Are you saying that you will define your happiness on a
I'm saying that you would
dick
too.
measuring competition with SC?
Absolutely. And you just laid out a scenario in which you would too.
It's such a little brother thing.
Oh, you motherfucker. Don't make me come over this table.
Please don't. You're nude. We've
Don't make me-
established
Hey, Michael.
as a nudist.
Hey, I have a question to ask you guys. We're getting, you guys have to go home at some point, although you're welcome to stay all night.
Not in the nude.
Yeah. Number one, I need to play something here because we got to do our little advertisement. If they don't play. There it is. This is, of course, the What's Bruin Symposium. So I got to play my little drops here.
Do you think we drink too much?
No, we don't drink too much. Men face reality, women don't. That's why men.
I hate it when podcasters talk about what they're drinking.
What else am I gonna drink, Bob? A fucking Fresca?
No, we're not having frescas tonight, but I served a couple drinks tonight. Alicia, Kenny, did you like the cocktails you had?
I love
loved
the
it. Yes.
cocktail that I had.
Once again, I made a private plane for the Reign of Troy and the Travel Hates Thursdays folks. And it's a dark red color with a little bit of a yellowish garnish. So it's definitely an SC cocktail. And I appreciate that. I have had an old fashioned and I had a paper plane. And then I had a double Woodford. And then I had something else too. So
It is, apropos that the SC people would have a private plane.
Yeah.
UCLA would have a
The
paper plane.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Michael. That is absolutely true. And yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna fucking argue with that.
Mm-hmm.
We're union, salty earth type people, and over there,
You fly,
Crosstown Showdown, not so much.
You fly Frontier, don't you?
No, never Frontier. And by the way, I'm American Airlines like lounge all the time, and that's all right. But anyways, bottom line is, thank you for coming to my home. It was a pleasure for me to serve you guys. We had some tri-tip and some potatoes and some carrots.
All
And
delicious.
then we did a double podcast.
Yeah.
The first part is on the SC feed, the Reign of Troy feed.
Yeah.
The second part is here on the What's Bruin Show feed,
Does this band play the whole time?
all the way through. It's like 4 minutes. I got to fill a lot. But
Wow.
it's a long way to say, thank you for listening to What's Bruin Show, our little independent pirate ship floating around the great sports talk waters here. Just for a couple bucks a month, you can subscribe on the Substack
$2.
or on the Patreon too. But
Yeah.
it's really just an excuse to say what we're drinking. Conversation Over Drinks is a symposium. And I want to thank you guys for your support. And Michael and Alicia and Kenny, I love you all.
We love you.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm glad you came over here and listened to, and took part in the What's Bruin show on this very special Crosstown Showdown. Are we going to do one later in the season?
We should.
We should do one ahead of the game.
Yeah.
That would be great.
So let's go ahead and book that now.
Well, if we
should do one before and
if we
after,
upgrade the
probably.
Renator studio,
Yes.
then it would be super helpful potentially. By then.
And that's fine. And whether we do that or not, you're always welcome here.
Yeah.
And we just have to do it a little bit later in the evening because it gets hot and this air conditioning only does so much.
Yeah.
But hey.
It'll be colder then too.
It'll be November.
Okay, and everybody stop talking. That's the end of the song. $2. All right, really, guys, what I want to talk to you about is USC in the Big Ten, UCLA in the Big Ten. How do you feel about your offensive line? Because I feel pretty good about mine because I feel like we have like too deep of guys that can play, but it's all theoretical in that they may be able to play or they may not be able to play. But I was hearing you guys, Michael and Alicia, on Range Roy Radio just the other day, talk about how you're like, we kind of sort of have 5 starters if that like little thing comes down with the NCAA and the court injunction. But if we don't, then we're kind of like, we might be screwed. How do you guys, Kenny, you're including this as well. How do you feel about the beef you're bringing into the Big Ten in 2025? Because that's the one thing about UCLA I was actually kind of proud of is that you talk about last year we had Jay Toya and we had a couple guys that got hurt, and you talk about our offensive line, which sucked because of our horrible coaching. But I'm actually kind of bullish on UCLA in the last 5 years, actually coming into these big conferences with some big dudes. I've heard a lot of Ray and Troy radio like grousing about how light in the pants you guys are with some of your offensive and defensive linemen.
Well,
how do you feel about your offensive and defensive lines, guys?
Okay, so it's not size-wise, the group is fine. Like,
yeah,
the size is fine. It's
size only matters if you can beat size with technique.
Yeah, it's the technique that I have questions about.
Okay, tell me about that.
So let me run down the offensive line very quickly. USC has returning left tackle Elijah Page.
He's pretty good.
He's good.
He's okay.
He has a lot of he could be really good.
Yeah.
But we've been grading him on a curve for 2 years, so let's see if we can stop grading him on a curve.
Wait, hold on. Size doesn't matter, but curve does?
Yes.
Okay.
DJ Wingfield, if he is made eligible by the NCAA.
We want a
left
wide
guard.
receiver to be made eligible. You guys want an offensive lineman to be made eligible.
I personally think both should be made eligible,
Me
but
too.
the NCAA can do what they want to do.
F those guys.
And the law can do what it wants to do. So if he doesn't play, it's Micah Benuelos, who's a redshirt sophomore. Could be really good, but we haven't seen him be really good. So let's okay. At center, you have big general John Ray Reed. Well, we can't figure out how to say this man's first name, and he doesn't know how to say his
all
first
think
name.
it's John Ray.
Nico
he says
Iamaleava.
In the media guide, it does not say John Ray.
It does not say John Ray on the media guide.
It says John Ray.
We looked up a video of him saying it, and he said it completely different than any other.
And then he's like, you can just call me Big General.
Just Big General.
Okay.
Big
That's
General
rough.
Reed. He's a transfer from Syracuse center. Should be fine, but he is a transfer, and offensive line transfers, you never know.
Yeah.
Alani Noah is the right guard. Was a starter last year. More on him in a second, because I'll say that at right tackle, it looks like it'll be Tobias Raymond, another guy who had a little bit of starting experience. Wasn't always that good of starting experience, but still starting experience, has potential. He's being pushed by Justin Tawanu'u.
Yes.
Okay.
Tawanu'u.
And that battle, whoever wins that battle, USC should be mostly like, okay. My problem with USC's offensive line is that they're already on uncertainty with DJ Wingfield. And then you look at the second team, and you have Killian O'Connor is the backup center. He is a former walk-on. At right guard, battling currently in camp, Alani Noah, the returning starter, is Kaylon Miller, a walk-on redshirt freshman.
That doesn't sound promising.
And then battling for the backup left tackle spot is Elijah Vicona, a true freshman. Behind Micah Benuelos, if he ends up being the starter, could be Hayden Treader, a sophomore. So yeah, USC's 10 or 11 includes two walk-ons, one former, one current, in positions one play away from being starters, if not winning a starting job in the case of Kalen Miller. It includes two returning starters who we've been grading on a curve. They're doing okay, but we've been grading them on a curve. It's time to take the training wheels off and start grading them with their, big boy bikes, and we'll see how they do. And then the rest are all like second-year players that, you know what? I mean, everybody's here got potential. I think USC has done a good job of identifying the traits that you want in offensive linemen in recruiting, but these are all like 3-star development kind of guys who USC is now going to be relying on heavily this season. And I think there is absolutely a world, and I would hope that this is the world for USC, where offensive line coach Zach Hansen, I have a lot of faith in him. He did a really good job with the tight ends. I think we on the USC panel side of here would say, like, we think he was a good hire for the offensive line in terms of moving him over from tight ends.
Who would you get rid of?
Josh Henson, who went to Purdue.
Okay.
So like, these guys could all be good to go because they're coached well and they're developed well, and Lincoln Riley's system generally seems to be able to withstand, offensive line play at a certain level. But it could be a train wreck. Sure.
You kind of ended it out there, but you're saying it could be kind of a train wreck.
I said it could also be a little bit of a train wreck, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
And that's what's crazy. Like, I'm like, UCLA's got like 9 guys that are juniors and seniors, and they're all like big guys. And I'm like, they all have a little bit of experience. So I'm like, out of those 9 guys, I think we're going to get 5 or 6 that can play. So that's why I'm kind of like feeling pretty good.
I am not concerned with USC's offensive line in the Big Ten because it's the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with SC's offensive line against anybody because the offensive line is in the situation that it is in. So my complaint with your question, and this is not that this is what you were insinuating, but like the idea that like SC will not be Big Ten ready this year because
I hate the whole Big Ten versus Pac-12 ready.
Which we heard that a lot last year.
I hate that,
so
by the
much
way.
last year, and it was ridiculous. Like,
I agree.
USC didn't lose games because they weren't Big Ten ready. They lost games because they couldn't freaking finish in the fourth
SC
quarter.
led the Big Ten in yards per carry.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Also, USC's offense was like the only one who did anything against Notre Dame. Last year.
Like it's just ridiculous. But yeah, we have very little faith in the offensive line, which is a struggle, which is not
It's
good.
scary.
When this is a season that like has a wide range of like, they could be good, but also they very easily could not be good.
I'm just saying that I would get pissed about the national media and the local media and Bruin fans when they would complain about UCLA's offensive line under the first like 4 or 5 years of Chip Kelly, when they would average like 5 yards plus per carry and DTR would get sacked a bunch of times, but like DTR would run into like 6 sacks a game, right? That's him. So then they had this horrible offense with Fredo, what's his name? What's my guy's name?
Bieniemy.
Fredo Bieniemy. And it's like, that was a blip to me, and I'm thinking they're going to bounce back now. But I think they have a chance to have a pretty good offensive line like they've had in the last 4 or 5 years and have a good running game and be good enough in the pass game. I'm curious about SC because you guys seem to be like constantly complaining about their offensive line, except for when you have Caleb Williams like manufacturing plays out of the pressure and all that stuff.
The funny thing is that the offensive line under Lincoln Riley thus far has been very frustrating in pass protection, but you look at the run game that USC has had in terms of at least efficiency, USC's running attacks with these offensive lines that I would not say have been dominant offensive lines have been really damn effective.
Yeah.
And so
that was a struggle last year is if it seemed like if there was more commitment to the run,
yes,
we would have had more success.
Yes, exactly. So
I do think that some of that, just to jump in here, is based on like I think SC runs the ball so well because they don't run it as much
as
people want them to, and so they're running into lighter boxes.
Catch them off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if they did run more, they would be less good at it.
Yeah,
On a per play statistic basis, but they would still be pretty good at it.
But what I was going to say is I think Riley's scheme is offensive line friendly in the run game. I think the run game generally is good to the offensive linemen that are in there. I think that it's easy to run and beneficial for them. It's the pass protection that's the concern, and that's the area that I have the most question marks about. And if USC was going to come out this season and say, screw it, we're just going to be a run-first team, I would have a lot more faith. But I don't think Lincoln Riley's that.
That will not happen.
That doesn't sound like him. The other thing is, you guys stole or we gifted you a defensive coordinator last year and our best young defensive player. And then last year we came out and UCLA arguably had a better year on defense than USC did. Like, I think you guys had a better pass defense, but I think UCLA, and like we scored, like the points against was about the same for both units. And then UCLA was very, very good against the run, and like yards per play, I think it was in UCLA's favor, whatever. But how are you feeling about Danton Lynn, number one? Kamari Ramsey, I already know you feel about him. He's awesome. We know he's awesome. How do you feel about USC's defense as a whole this year? And most specifically about your defensive line this year? And then we'll, finish this off. But I'm curious about how that feels.
I know that you only had him for 1 year, but I just want to let you know his name is Danton and not Danton.
Danton. I don't really give a fuck because he went across town. So I'm going to call him whatever the fuck I want to call him. And for me, it's Danton and fuck him. Does that make sense?
All right, Kenny, your thoughts?
Well, that's like I call the guy Cobe Johnson. I think Danton Lynn was a great hire. Alex Grinch was a national joke.
God, I loved him.
When he was at Oklahoma, and we brought him over here. Danton Lynn, I thought our defense was much better last year, and I think it will be even better this year. I think it weirdly, like was said earlier tonight, may be the strong point of the team.
The last year's defensive front did not have the personnel.
Yes.
We talk about size and all that kind of stuff. Like that line was not up to size that they needed. They had brought in some experienced transfers who had limited ceilings, who did the best they could, and you could see that everybody up front was doing the best they could, but there was clear ability limitations that were going on that front. USC has upgraded across the board in the interior defensive line. Depth is extraordinary. I think this is the deepest defensive line USC has had probably in 15 years.
Interesting.
And they also got kind of unlucky with some injuries last year. I never go into any season saying like this is the year USC is not going to have injuries, but also they did have a bunch of injuries at a position that they couldn't afford any injuries at, and so they are much more equipped to handle an injury or two in terms of the depth. So I am bullish about USC's defensive front and defense.
I'm bullish about the secondary because of this guy named Kamari Ramsey. Ever heard of him?
Yeah, I heard of it.
Yeah,
F that guy.
Pretty good.
He's pretty.
Guy
good.
named Eric Gentry as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Eric Gentry.
Is he going to play?
Gentry.
That's the
How many games? How many games? How many
He's
games?
healthy right now.
If I put the over under at 6.5, which one are you? No, 7.5. Which are you taking?
Over.
Okay.
I'll say over right now. I think I am optimistic about.
Fingers crossed under.
If you said 9.5, I'd take the under.
Anyways,
so
I was
good
looking
when he plays.
I was looking through his game reference as a football reference.
Eric Gentry is your 8 foot tall linebacker.
Yes,
Yes.
he's-
Right.
yes,
I want to
yeah.
make sure that the
Yes.
Bruin fans know that.
From
Yeah,
ASU.
he's
Yeah.
6'7" unicorn linebacker.
Mm.
He has played like last season was the first season that he hadn't played 11 games in a season.
Okay.
Technically, but he did a lot of like he played the first quarter and then got injured in this game kind of stuff.
Michael, how do you feel about your defense?
Good.
There you go. Hey, he's the best of business, not for nothing, guys. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Harry. So, guys, this has been a pleasure. We did an hour on Rain Troy Radio. Go
Mhm.
back and watch that on their feed. We're gonna forgo What's Brewing with You tonight because we're already an hour on this feed,
Mm-hmm.
and quite frankly, I've had a few too many whiskeys. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna shut this one down.
Sure.
Because Michael's sitting there doing his little twiddle finger, saying, "Hey, we gotta finish
Okay,
up.
okay.
It's
We
late.
gotta finish
Sorry.
up. We gotta finish up
Really quick,
We
I do
gotta-
have a what's brewing
Michael
with
wants to go.
you. All of a
You
sudden.
got a what's wrong with
Oh,
you?
what?
Yes.
Oh, do you?
Really
Okay,
quick.
let's fucking play the theme then.
I
fucker.
knew this was coming. I think I was channeling Jake in the thing that he was about to tell the story about.
All right. Hey, we're on a time limit. How long do you need? 1 minute? 2 minutes?
45 seconds.
45 seconds, Michael, and then Alicia, and then Kenny, and then me. Go.
Oh, I thought I was just going to do one. Okay. Really quick.
What's wrong with you, Michael?
Yeah, okay. I was going like this. Like, okay, it's 11:04.
Yeah.
Let's get
You gotta
going.
wake up tomorrow?
There's a Hawaii
You
game
don't go to
kicking
sleep until
off.
6 in the morning.
I don't have to wake up tomorrow, but like he probably does.
Thank you.
She probably will. Yeah. Anyways, the point is, she was on the phone with her college best friend a few months ago,
Nice.
and we were gonna. She takes this call when we were about to watch TV together.
Big brother.
And I think
Survivor?
it was jet lag at the time.
Gotcha.
Anyways, we were about to watch an episode,
Mm-hmm.
and I just have it queued up, pause on the screen, and she's conversating.
The worst feeling is when you have it queued up and then the whole thing shuts down because you waited too long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so I look over and I give her the little like, all right, wrap it up signal.
She should be accustomed to that because you've been podcasting together
Yeah.
for like 20 years.
Yeah. You know, the same signal that the umps give when they say it's a home run. Yeah. She then proceeds to say, "Oh well, Michael's telling me to wrap it up, so I've got to go. So bye."
And I am beholden to him. So
I give you that signal. You're not supposed to say.
No, that's why it's quiet.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Michael could have said, "All right, time to be done."
Yeah, you're not supposed to say it.
That's what's ruined with you.
are you mad at me, Michael?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy.
What's ruined with me is that I feel very vindicated in my
And she was
calling
like,
him out of again the wrap ups.
She was like,
You're
supposed to use your husband as the out.
No, I actually agree with that.
Yes,
That's one of the best parts.
The conversation had been going on for longer than I had wanted it to go on.
Yeah.
So I used that as a convenient way to get away.
Michael?
You know what? Michael needs me for something.
Does this
Boom.
vindicate
There
you
go.
as one of my BFFs in the entire world? Your wife can do it. I can do it. Like, that should make you feel good, but big guy.
Whatever.
There we go.
Actually,
Alicia, Penguin. What's wrong with you?
What's brewing with me is I have 2 dogs and
Michael just did the
and my
finger
husband
again.
wants me to get going.
Go Badgers. Kenny, what's wrong with you?
So this episode is coming out on Monday, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, this is probably going up tonight, and it's going to backfill
I don't know,
what's
well,
yours.
Well, I'll speak as if it's Monday,
Okay, very
but
good.
what I'll be doing and what I hope our listeners will be doing is plan some really nice date nights this
Oh,
weekend.
Kenny.
Oh,
because
yeah.
guess what? It's the last weekend without college football
Oh,
until
that's right.
January.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So
it's also the last weekend without the Premier League.
Whoa. There's a football game next week?
Farmageddon
Fucking A.
on the 23rd.
That's insane.
Yep.
That's insane.
It's that close.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All
We
right.
made it.
Well, yeah, good. Guys, it's always wonderful to have you guys in studio. It was my pleasure to host you all. Please listen to the other hour we did on Rain Troy Radio.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. We'll be back, I don't know, on Tuesday or something. Maybe if Mike wants to come over, and we might podcast again, or we might not. I'm supposed to have the Godfather on for a talk about UCLA dual sport athletes or whatever. We'll see if that ever happens. Listen to last week when we had Wayne Cook on the show. That was an hour-long
Okay, do my Wayne Cook impersonation.
Please do.
No, he might listen.
He's not going to listen. Not this long. He would already shut it off.
That was a pass that, when you look at it and the Bruins are on the field, it's one of those plays where I think they're getting the offensive line to work, and if they can continue to do it, these Bruins.
All right. Okay.
That is
wrap up the show.
absolutely sounds rompy-pompy for you, and I'm going to try to find where it is.
That was not good. That was not
Where's
good.
my sounds rompy-pompy? I don't know where it is.
Okay.
But Wayne Cook
Let's end before
is
I
a
do my Matt
fucking
Stevens.
champion. And
Sounds like Wolfie.
sounds
rumpy pumpy.
but that's okay. But I will say this: I was very vindicated this year because another network always puts him on, and they just use him and abuse him.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we'll put Wayne on, and then like the next day or two, he'll be on the other fucking network.
Were you nude for him too?
Always. We do a video podcast. Wayne's new to as well from Temecula. He's got a bottle of like Prosecco in his hand, and he's talking about his middle schoolers.
Okay.
Anyways, allegedly, that's not really what's happening. Anyways, all I'm saying is this year we had Wayne on first, and he sounded much better on my show than he did on the other show.
Nice.
And Will Decker and Jamal Manny, you can suck it. But go back and listen to that show. It was good. Go back and listen to a month ago, and we had David Singleton on. And then you have here with Range Race Studios Radio and Kenny from Travel Hates Thursday. I love you guys all. I've had too much whiskey. And what do we say to everybody? Give me on three. Give me a go Bruins. 1, 2, 3.
See ya.
Go Bruins!
Fight on.
F you guys. See ya.
Yeah.